I know, I started the stream with the wrong title and the wrong game, but it has been the weekend from hell. The Friday from hell. The 3-day nightmare from hell. I am just here to try to chill out before the annoying little red phone of work over in the corner of my desk, which could still go off at any moment, decides to chirp its ugly chirp again. I am hoping I don't get interrupted, because everything else has been interrupted. The new PC build has been completely interrupted. I should not even be streaming right now, because at this point, I was supposed to be having everything up and running on the new rig, including having all the cabling behind my desk, including to the work PC stripped out because I wouldn't need to worry about the work PC. Well, that all fell under the axe of holy shit. So, what do you guys say? I've got to be crazy, just not right in the head. But I'm thinking nether build, believe it or not. This is how I know I'm insane, and that I just need a chance to chill and unwind and de-stress and the whole 9 yards. That going into the nether and building in the nether is chill in comparison. It has been that kind of weekend. So, before I take you guys in there, obviously you can see, since the last stream, I've done some badly needed sorting. Just because it got a little ridiculous. Everything's been brought over as far as supplies. From the archaeology build, I think I'm set for gravel for at least a little while. We're in a better space there. Out here, I did go through and I did touch the little side things because I did manage to get a little playtime in with everything that went on. But the little dark areas that I still had left over, a little up towards... Obviously, I haven't gotten down there because there's no actual direct path down to here from up here. Which is kind of annoying, but I'll have to dig my way down there and light that up. But everything else should, with very crossed fingers as I say that, be lit up here. So that little platform was over there. Was there? No, it was there or there. One of those two platforms was where I was dealing with the witch that was down there that was trying to get me. Everything's been lit up. So we're in great shape. I got back down into that corner. That's lit up now. So we shouldn't really be dealing with too much down here that's like at least right in my face. So I've got room to build down here now. The other thing I need to also do, one of the things that's on my list of things I absolutely need to do, because even I'm getting lost at this point because I haven't been in the cave in a little while. And too many brain cells have been damaged by what was going on at work. There we are. There's the entrance. I need to build a clearer path so that way if anyone does come in through the nether portal, they're just like, they're not like, oh crap, I've wound up somewhere completely unknown. I don't know how to get out of here. Where am I? Yada, yada, yada. Because that would kind of suck, but... I've done a little work. Are you nighttime? Yes, you're nighttime. Let's sleep up first before I go outside. I also did a lot of work outside as well, as far as just making sure things were lit up around the area, so I can work outside a bit more safer. And, well, some other things. There's a distinct lack of trees in some of the area now. There's some other trees that have come in that don't belong here. This obviously was not here the last time I was here. And what I've done, let me go down and show you guys from... Actually, no, wait a minute. Spectator cam, or free cam. Woo! Oh. I gotta find some controls for that, because dang, that is a little too quick. all the way down to the boat dock. I'm making my way down there slowly with the path. And we're coming up along here. Just working in a basic stone path at this point, and I've been gathering some resources. And decided it was kind of nice to just have them outside for a little bit of display. So that's what little I managed to get done between then and now. We're a little better shape. There's more than just this out here, obviously, but I just want to have a little bit of roll of sod there. Some of the supplies from the archaeology area are out here. I went out and grabbed some dark oak saplings, got those planted down, and I've even gone through and got myself some nice big spruce trees so I can also start collecting some pods. I also completely did not realize that this was here. This is not my light up method, because usually I'll just chuck a torch on the top and be happy with it. Maybe one on the walls. So someone had already actually been through here and raided most of that, but we have ourselves a zombie spawner that is literally right in our front yard. Not sure what I'm going to do with that just yet. I think that was zombie spawner. Let me double check that. I could be... With the state my mind is in, I could be completely spewing gibberish. I almost did just spew gibberish there. In fact, I did. Yep, zombie. Zombie. So, I could... drowned farm, maybe? Things have been happening on the server, unfortunately, that I have not been able to keep up with, unfortunately. I know that Top has got a lot of stuff over in the spawn village now, where he's been able to get a couple farms set up. He lucked out, and actually that's something I should check on. He was streaming the other day. It was one of the few things I've actually managed to do is actually catch that stream in between calls. And he actually got a mending villager. This is why I need to head over there ASAP. It's a mending villager with a 15 emerald trade. So needless to say, it would be nice. I mean, granted, I don't exactly have tons of diamond gear to waste it on, but it'd be nice to actually pick up the pick that up at some point. He's also got trading set up, a pretty decent trading setup over there too, as far as the farming setup and whatnot. And he's got last I heard he had the zombie farm up, so it's giving a trickle of iron at this point, which is better than nothing at this point, honestly. But what I'm thinking of is just more the lines of a bit of a nether, spending a little bit of time in a nether, and maybe doing some exploring around in there. You can see there's some extra supplies I've got off of tree harvesting. Not a ton, but enough to make do. Leave the expensive food behind. Bring the crafting bench. I don't think I'll need a furnace, but I'll bring one anyways. I don't have a ton of arrows, which is the only downside. Water bucket's useless. I mean, at this point, if I get hit with anything, I'm more likely going to end up in the lava anyway, so let's not throw our good stuff all over the place. And probably another pick or two. I'm going to burn through these. So we might as well at least have extras ready to go. I don't know if I really want to blow through that. Yeah, I've got mending on it, but I say that, but it's the nether cores. Okay, we don't need that. Just mind the store. If anyone comes by reporting an anomaly, maybe come and find me. I mean, I don't know what I can do about it. I don't exactly have containment rooms built up around here or anything yet, but I mean, I can certainly research, you know, maybe run some basic tests in place. I don't think we've had any anomalies yet, which is probably a good thing. All right, nether, here we go. Wait a minute. Yeah, I've got something at least. Maybe more I was about ready to go into the nether and do any sort of building without having adequate blocks to do it. This is where my brain is at this point, ladies and gentlemen. This is why this should be entertaining. Let's see, that'd be... Yeah. We'll just grab an extra stack for now. I'm thinking half slabs, really. My weapon of choice in the nether is half slabs. I shall build a path, and it will be half slabbed, because I do not want to see anything spawning on it. Ghast, pig-related, or otherwise. And most certainly, not magma cubes. Hopefully... Okay, look up. That's good. Our portal is still intact. I don't know if I'm really gonna expect to see anything around as far as other paths go. I know that Muna and Elfie got stranded out a fair bit away from spawning in the nether, but their path was a bit further away from me. And I know Lying and... I forget who was with them. They were over in actually where the old mending village was, and have been setting up over there, setting up a little place. So I don't know. At level 86, we've got skellies already showing up here. What do I want to do in the nether today? Where do I want to die today at this point? Because this is getting... It'll be hairy enough. I mean, I can go into the hoglin-infested depths. I can get my butt shot off by a ghast or a skeleton over here. Or I can... take my chances with underground lava and see what I can come up. Maybe... Do we even have anything good on... Ooh. We do have another fortress nearby. So I could try to go for some, this is a decent-sized fortress, actually, because that's all the way over to here. Might be some nether wart in there that I could bring back, and I've certainly got soul sand here to work with. Could also make my way over to the warp forest over there. Start getting some, ender eyes. I'm guessing this is all one giant swath of crimson forest. Let's just see what we get out of here first. If only just to bolster my block inventory a little bit. So if I want to try to go to... Yeah, thanks, Ghast. That's going to be a fun trip. I have to go uphill, wrap around there and all of the skeletons. Try to come down here. That's probably a lower terrain feature down there. Actually, no, that might be higher. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, let's not play Gassy Poo's game there. Ooh, piece of candy. That was a decent pocket of materials there. Not enough to really mend the pickaxe much, so I should really just switch over to my regular pickaxe for rack removal here. Suffer the slowness. This is practically right next door. So I luck out with a pretty decent spawn. Not spawn, I'm gonna be like this all night, mixing up my terms and everything. A good chunk of my brain is mush at this point, and not looking forward to having to be at work tomorrow morning at 7:30. But... So why are you so loud? Deafening you guys, probably. just do that. Now I can switch over a bit easier. I did have a little bit of time, which is like all of... I think I got about 15 minutes in before I got interrupted by another call over the issue. Capital letters on that I was dealing with this weekend. And I played around with a little bit of possible design for another tunnel. And I'm not exactly sure. I have to speak with the others and see if there's any plans for any sort of nether hub or nether tunnels, because those of you who have been with me since my ZombieCraft days know that that tends, well, even a little bit of symmetry too, at least for tunnel design, that tends to kind of be a thing I get hooked on. And now that I mean, geez, we're probably talking 112 at most that I was working on that way back in the day. So, oh god, that fortress is gonna be hell on wheels. In a soul sand valley? Okay, how do you want to die in a fire today? Gas or blaze? But, yeah. Other things been kind of my thing, and since I haven't really done anything with a lot of the newer block palettes that we have available, I haven't really done a decent nether setup in a while. And I found a really neat combination that I'm kind of looking forward to trying. Just gotta watch for anything coming down on me here. Gas, skeleton, or otherwise. There's a really neat combination I can do with, of all things, Crimson Wood and I'm probably messing the name of that up, and Cherry Wood as well. They kind of go together, which is a really pleasant find. Do I have an easier way down there, or am I just literally going to drop down? I don't really like that entrance. We just kind of goes into nether, doesn't bring a spare shovel. Winning. Let's see if we can kind of pick something a little safer to get out of, should there be skelebobs in the area. That is decidedly not safer at the moment. Okay. Let's kind of throw that there and that there so people know that that's a way out. It's not exactly the safest way out of here, unfortunately. Boom. Double fortress. What are you doing for terrain generation here, I might ask? Okay, hello, Blaze. Interesting spot to find you. Might I interest you in some pointy sticks? I mean, I kind of don't want to kill you there, but you're right in... Yep, we got him. You're right within my line of sight, and... No blaze rods, though. Alright. That's a fall and a half. Let's not go down that way. Alright. Standard fortress procedures. Sissy bars everywhere. Because you never know when you're going to get a little bit of fun. Also, really should be a bit more careful about gold mining out in the open like that, because now I'm in a spot where the, yeah, our buddies can spawn. Pray tell, Mr. Fortress, do you have any nether rat or Nether wart. I will manage to find my brain at some point here. I promise. Hey, Top. That was, by the way, epic reaction. I was watching when you got the trade on that, the mending villager there. That was an epic reaction. I should have clipped that. I would have clipped that if I wasn't kind of having to do work at the same time. Alright. That's fine. We got mushrooms. Mushrooms are pretty relatively easy to find in the overworld. So I'm not worried about bringing anything like that back. And we'll certainly not let any glowstone go untouched. Let's just leave myself a note. Yes, I know I have a map, but that's my way out. Yeah, and all I've got on my end is I've got a zombie farm out, or not a zombie farm, a zombie spawner outside my area. I have two. I might have another candidate for a double cave spider spawner. Possibly. I haven't seen any mine shafts yet, but I know there are some around somewhere, from what I've heard in the walls at least. Because the old cave spider hisses. And I think my other zombie... I think it was a zombie spawner. Let me tuck back in here. Waypoints. Yeah, I've got another zombie dungeon, and that's about it, unfortunately. So, downside is, yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Zombie spawner's not exactly the best thing either. Though, I was thinking I could take the one on the surface and turn that into a drowned machine. And then that would let us do some copper farming, potentially. I have to look into that. Blaze spawner out in the open air. Ugh. I want to say no thank you, but if that's the only one we've got, please let there be another blaze spawner somewhere. Something that's contained that I can work with very easily. At least not until I've got potion brewing set up, because yeah. I mean, I could always run in there and bash them, but it feels safer once we've got potion brewing going. I'm going to just kind of assume that that's probably something that should not be there. Just as a note, folks, please don't post links unless you've asked permission to. Where is your... I don't want to do... Where's the... This is the part where I show off just how inexperienced I am on Twitch, but then at the same time, Twitch, why are you still saying that blocking a user actually will prevent them from hosting your channel? You haven't had hosting as a feature since, like, what, 2021? I think that was when they turned that off. Another open air spawner. So, blaze spawner over there, blaze spawner over here. Admittedly, this is almost even worse to try to get around, because... yeah. Let's just... sissy bar this. Because we're probably going to be running back from... blazes at some point. This, I think, might even be under the spawner. Is it? Yeah, that's a side hall. Nope, I've managed to get myself completely turned around now. And I've got five arrows to my name for this. Let's just get that out of the way. Okay, no. Blaze spawner's over there. So, yep. That's the blaze spawner I first saw. So this one is the second one. Open air. In ways, it's actually a little easier to deal with because we don't have to hack away half the netherrack around it, but that is Trixies. Very Trixies. On the other hand, let's not stare at the Enderman as we go by. This sucker's going on for quite a ways. I haven't actually looked at another... Ooh, I'm going the right way, though, because that looks like that's the entrance to the built-up portion. I haven't actually... Oh, don't tell me. No, no, no. Don't dead end. Oh, what a jip. You are kidding me. So this particular nether fortress, unfortunately, has not spawned with any of the roofed areas. So this entire fortress is just open platforms, which is great from a standpoint of wither skeleton spawns. You know, out in the open air, easier to build that up. But from the standpoint of nether wart, that's a problem. There won't be any. Because that whole thing just dead ends right there. Oh, it's a jip. It's a jip and a half. All right. On the other hand, though, let's see if I can get this pick healed up a bit more. I hate it when the fortress generation does that. It's like, okay, good job, you found another fortress. You're right on top of it. Everything's good, and then it's like, haha, fooled you. What unfortunate manner of terrain generation caused that poor thing to be killed in its infancy? I should have guessed it because it's a pretty large fortress, at least as far as the actual, like, the pathways outside of it. They definitely are a lot more numerous and longer than I'd normally see. Yeah, the other problem is we won't even get any loot there because all the loot chests are back in that section too. So as far as, like, if I were going on a hardcore hunt for nether trim, that just got that was completely robbed there. Let's see, should be able to... I might be able to kind of go around the outside. Or not. Alright, back through the fortress it is. Such as it is. Shouldn't complain. That really should be a good setup for... Where are you? Ah, there you are. Come here. Oh, come on. I got that one. What? Really? Come on. I want return to sender. Give me my return to sender. Wow, I am sucking hardcore on that. Whiffage. Okay, that one I got a hold of. Oh, there's two of you now, huh? Come here. Yeah, you know what? You're out of the open. Come here. We'll do this the easy way. Yeah, let's see. And all you gave me was just some gunpowder. Arrgh! Yeah, I know that feeling too. That's why I was kind of... I've had that section outside ready to go with all the little pallets of materials and everything. It's like, well, I could do some more building, but then I kind of feel guilty because I don't get to actually show that, and when I want to build out there, would kind of get replaced by it, so... But then there's also the whole, well, do I really want to have an episode that is nothing but a big giant time lapse? Which I have done before. Oh. The running of the horses on ZombieCraft. Those were nightmare episodes to edit. Here's a 2-hour-long event. See if you can condense that down to something useful. Ah, alright, we've got the local challenge level up. The bad boys have shown up to play. Hey boys, come on. Come on, 3 of you out here. That's right. Come this way. Let's see if my infamously bad luck with Wither Skeleton still holds. Where'd your buddy go, huh? Your buddy's not out there? Cast over there. Yeah, some of us. I don't go engage these guys out in the open. Yep. My bad luck with Wither Skeletons continues to hold. I can tell you right now, I will never see a Wither Skeleton skull this season. They just do not exist for me. Nothing I do. I will even go into farms that are prepared specifically to increase the chances. I will go in with a Looting 2 sword, and there will not be anything that will drop for heads. Come on. Follow it. No. Keep up, Bob. Come on. Come on, Skelly Bob. This way. I just want to tickle your tootsies. 3 for 3. Alright. Well, here's the problem. There's no nether wart in this fort at all. That's pretty much a given. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do to even salvage any. I mean, there's no chests, no loot, no nether wart. I'm not going to mine up all the quartz in existence, but it is good levels. That's really about the only thing I have out here, and I can kind of get that just wandering around. So, Blaze Farm, probably not. I'm not going to deal with that just yet. See, that actually gets me over to the path that goes home. A little quick, well, about the same distance. Just questioning whether I want to try to tackle a... Or we could just despawn and I could have a gas shoot a fireball right by me that I didn't see. Thank you, multiplayer. Just... Oh, thanks. Yeah. NBA Blaze down there from downtown. It's just the usual sissy bar. I mean, there's not really any point to even exploring. I'm not going to find anything. Find more spawners and that's about it, but... Here's the thing, that kind of... You get features that look like they should be enclosed, but they don't. Let's see, we're here. We just came from out here. We had gone down... from... We'd come out from that direction. So that's our dead-end path here. That dies, doesn't actually take you to a fortress, but there's this generation here, which is kind of a little on the weird side. So let me go back over... Oh, hey, guys. I need to get cranky. Let me take a jot over to... You're gonna dead end too, aren't you? No, okay, you link up back where I was before. Perfect. That's our way out. So you know that goes back out into... You're deep in there. Maybe... Fortresses should only have one... Okay, that's the open air spawner. The first... Yeah, that's the first one we found. And then that's the dead end there. They only are supposed to have one spot. Where am I at this point? Where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Follow. There we are. What's throwing me is... I haven't changed level, and yet I'm getting a completely different map. What is going on there? That's another fortress over there, too, it looks like. We might actually have better luck on that one, because that one actually does look like... Just some of the tightness of the corridors does look like it's about right. So... Angle to the right, get out, and... Maybe I'll be lucky and there's an overland passage through there. He'll take me over to the warp forest anyways, so... Back from the spawner, hang a left. Tell me, they're really not that far from my portal over here. Oh yeah, and some food probably. Get a little bit of health back going. Fortress near the spawn portals. This probably, I mean... Yeah, I hear you, skeleton. Let's make sure I'm safe here for the time being. And... switch you to... No, I don't want cave layers. Why are you not giving me my overworld selection? Derpity derpity derp. I'm not too far off from spawn, so... That is a thing to consider. Oh, hi guys. 3 more of you, huh? Bone. I'll get plenty of bones off these guys, no problem. Come on. Bones, charcoal, the whole swords, whole 9 yards. That can stay there. Not gonna be using that anytime soon. But heads? No, we won't see those. Minecraft definitely likes to troll me on that. All right, well, have a... Ooh. I feel for you there. I've done, and I used to have to do a... whatchamacallit. My daily commute used to be an hour to an hour and a half, depending on traffic, out and back. It was not fun. Speaking of not fun, No, you don't set me on fire, buddy. Come on. And then there was one arrow, and me without an affinity bow. That was the entrance point. We might be able to have a little bit better luck. Not better luck. Better luck going through here. Anyway, sleep well, man. Oh. Dug all the way down there. You can just go right in through there. I love it when the game gives you a shortcut like that. After you don't need it anymore. So I'm following you, huh? Oh, Leary, you know where you're going? You got a map to the area. If anyone's definitely looking for a good spot for some skeleton assassination, you've definitely got it here. I think we could build a skeleton mob grinder out here. Never thought about that before. Alright, so we think... Because as far as spawn goes, my portal's there... Hang on. Holy shit. Did I just luck out in where I put down my portal out here? We've got another fortress, granted a completely useless one for the most part, aside from, you know, okay, we'll get a... We could set up a skeleton grinder there, a wither skeleton grind, and let's just do that so people know that is the out. But let's not block myself out. Did we just luck out, and is that a bastion right by where I'm at? So we've got another fortress that we can set up a wither skeleton grinding facility at. We've got a... And admittedly, yeah, we can get some blaze once in a while there, probably, but... It's still showing up, yeah. I'm pretty much right on top of a bastion. Mind you, I feel completely and utterly unprepared to deal with the bastion right now. I mean, it can be done. Yeah, it's just off to the left here. I mean, my gear is gonna fall apart sooner or later, and yeah, I've got a smite sword, but it's a smite too. I could go back and throw together a diamond sword. Come on, if you're out here, you're either a lower level than I'm at this level. It's the other reason why I like bringing along an iron picks with me, because it kind of preserves slots of your inventory. Gotta be... No, according to this, I'm right on top of the thing. Alright, so if you're not up, you must be down. I like having that slot that you get back with an iron tool breaking. It's like, okay, yeah, I lost something, but you know what? I can live with that. Come on, give me a sign of where I'm at here, because... There is very much something on the map, and that looks like a lava room there. With a ruined bridge across it, too. So where is that fortress in relation to me? I mean, I can't even see any of the mobs in it if I'm in the right neighborhood, so... We're about on height with the portal-ish. I guess I might have to go back and see if I can pick it up from the outside. Yeah, the thing I used to do back when I had to do the big long commutes, it was pretty much a case of I was being kept sane. Yeah, that's not what I want to do. Where's the sword? No. Tell me I did not throw the sword in the lava. Or did I do a quick swap on it? Has Smite 2 sword. Panics at the arrival of a skeleton unanticipated and drops it. I don't think it went in the portal. It did go in the portal. How? You know what? Let's unload the inventory anyway, since I'm back here. Let's not question that. That little bit of largesse. I figured I would go back through just in case it might have gone through, but I was not expecting it to actually have gone through. There we go. Now I've got some netherrack. And... anywhere... stick the soul sand in there, and then I guess everything can go in the go chest. And I'm just gonna have to leave the bow behind because it's kind of pointless. That was if I wanted to go to the main village, and yeah, let's just get another silly little shovel going. Durability 4. Yeah, that's gonna like 4 soul sand. Tink, gone. Everything else reasonably okay for armor. So that's really just there to keep any potential pigmen who wander in from getting in base. Let's see. All right, see you, top. So let's see what we can do to try to track down this possible bastion. It seems like it's out here somewhere. And as much as I hate to say it, yeah, I'm going to go up. Which is kind of questionable already, because there's the lava flow there, which is definitely coming from higher up, but also just getting into a crimson forest. Can we have my... Yeah. Keep our magical happy pickaxe around and get at least a little extra materials out of what we're doing. I don't really have any immediate use for quartz, but... Alright. Oh yeah, that lava's from way up. Okay. It's definitely a crimson forest. And we're high up enough that the bastion's not spawning. Alright. So that tells me that bastion's got to be down at lava layer. At or right near it, which it makes sense. We are high up in the nether at this point, so rather than up, just close that off. We need to go down, and if we're going down, then let's just do that right here. The other thing I was also thinking I could have done, I could have gone back, brought some extra wood out with me, grabbed all the gravel I've got, and I could do a cheaty gravel ladder down to lava level. I was thinking about possibly doing that to go down and start looking for ancient debris. Hang on, someone's got a path through here. Ah, come on, journey map. Why are you doing this to me? That's definitely a path. Someone's run a... You know what? I'm willing to bet that's probably heading out to the to Lying's place. Just a question of now I've got to try to intercept that path, because that's a good convenient path to get to spawn then. Just a question of what Y level is it on? I don't think it's that one, because, yeah, we're out in the forest at the lower level. And the irony is, I do kind of... For the nether tunnel idea I've got, I actually do need a fair bit of... not so much the crimson... the netherwart block, because we can't... I really wish Minecraft would let you, uncompress it. It seems kind of silly that you can take 9 netherwart and effectively waste it on that block. I And even if it's a reduced generation rate, it would still be handier. Okay, I just want to make sure I get the vines. And yeah, I definitely need some of the crimson wood for what I have in mind. Not too much of it. It's a little bit of a stretch. I'll show you guys if I remember at the end of the stream. It just works so well with the cherry wood. So what I'd love to do potentially is see if we've got any... I didn't bring the silk touch axe with me because that would... I could pick up some of it. I'm not going to grab that tree unless I know for... shield was up. Demand a replay. There you go. No mushrooms still, huh? Grab the bone blocks while I'm here. Sure. Maybe I can actually see either path or bastion from down here while I'm here. That's the nether fortress that we were in earlier. There is a bastion down here. It is... Oh, there it is. I can see the... having just looked at his mini-map finally. That's why everyone's like, oh, you shouldn't do that with your mobs on because you're cheating. And trust me, I don't look at the map often enough. I have enough problems just looking back up at chat. Yeah, exactly. The uncraftable blocks. That would be a huge... So come on, we already put up with so many things in the game. Ha, here we go. There's some mushrooms. We already put up with weird kind of things in the game like phantoms. Give us something a little back here. Maybe not. Maybe it's a reduced rate of uncrafting or something to kind of balance out the fact that, well, now you don't have to go to another to another fortress to get what you're trying to find. It's tempting to try to take you on, good sir, but well, actually not a bad spot. What was I saying about not being in a bad spot? That's the way this entire weekend has basically gone at this point. If you can say something, it will immediately contrarily go and drive you insane. It will happen despite all the odds. Okay, how did you reach me through there, buddy? Maybe I should teleport in a fire. I kind of want that block you're holding. Oh, great. Now I gotta try to guess where you were at. At least there's the skeleton. Did you drop that block when you died, good sir? Were you a nice Enderman and left me with a gift? Because I can't tell. There's XP there. There's something up. Oh, well, that's as good as a gift as I'll take. I mean, sure, I would have liked the Nylium, but I will gladly take an Ender Pearl. There we go. That's got to be the bastion back there. All right, so we got a path through. I just need to make sure that I've noted it. This should be interesting because I am definitely in no way equipped to take this on at the current time. But hey, you know, what's the worst that could happen? I've already got another fortress under my hat today, even if it was a do nothing nether fortress. kind of like to take you from the top down if we can. Especially because I would like to attack you from a direction that maybe I have a chance of surviving. Because I know you're going to have brutes in there. And that's it. We're down to the pick that I don't want to break. On the other hand, it'll tear through this thing like a tissue paper. Okay, that's an open room. And we're not even anywhere near the top of this thing. Oh boy. Let's just block. Yeah. Let me piss off every piglin within 5 miles of here. Sure. Let's go around that if we can. Still in the Crimson Forest. Where does this thing go? Here's the question I've got with all this is how much of this is being changed by Terralith generation? If anything. Okay. Alright, so I think we can probably call that roughly about the top. Maybe? Question mark? Doesn't look like it because it's all... Where is this part of the fortress here? Because this is... The mobs are all in there. But the fortress structure is all off to my left. So what is going on here? Oh, hey, boys. How you doing? I'm not interested in really seeing any of you guys right now, especially Mr. Brute there. Because he could very easily and quickly and efficiently ruin my day. Which admittedly would not be the worst thing that has happened in the last 3 days for me, but, you know... No ranged weaponry whatsoever, but that is definitely going into the piglin, or the, yeah, into the crypt. Alright. Hey, buddy. I'm just gonna go off this way. Oh! Surprise! Doesn't do me any good, because... Thank you, Minecraft. I want to make sure I don't open a hole into the fortress. Is it only one? Only one. Alright. Doesn't do me good because I need a netherite upgrade now for the darn things now. Thanks, Moyang. Not to mention I also don't have the diamonds to duplicate one. Even if I do get one. Need to spend some more time mining, and that's very much an off-camera thing at this point. Alright, where are you guys hiding in here? It's definitely further down. Oh, don't do that to me, man. I'm waiting to get axed through a wall. Is basically what's going on here. Boop. Boopy doopy doop. Yep, that's some murderness going on there. Hi guys. Hey, how's it going? Okay, let's not get murdered here. So if you do want to shoot your friends, I'm all for that. Fruits down. Frickin' whatchamacallit. Come on. Did you really not drop anything? All of that, and Mr. Brute didn't give me a thing. Also realizing that was really stupid of me not to block off the backward path. And let's also eat. Definitely got to be keeping in mind that they can very easily get me around corners, potentially. Looks like that's, yeah, that's back the way I came. Perfect. Alright, so we're safe through here. I'm still gonna leave some obstacles up because you never know. Let's just do that. Take a look. Oh, yay. Hello, beautiful. Alright. Can I seal this off? We're sealed off from that direction. It looks like we're safe off to the left. And I believe that direction is sealed off. There's no path up there. Just make sure I have no overhang here that they could drop down on. So many freaking beasts down there. Go away. Alright, I know the way back is safe. I know the way here is currently safe. Let's just, for sanity's sake, find something I don't need. Bones. Got some arrows, it's fine. I can live without 3 extra cobble. Woohoo! I mean, let's be honest, they're mad at me anyway, so you know what? Why the hell not? Magma cream, nah. Arrows, definitely welcome. Sure, another golden apple, won't turn that down. Cooked pork chop, eh. That's really about it. Problem is, in order to get the good stuff, it's gonna be down there towards the bottom. Leave a note that I've been there and looked in that. I piss him off again, but you know what? So be it. 13 arrows. I should probably be thinking about coming back here once I've actually got the bow back on me. Got the way out. That's a great idea. So just... Okay, so we've got a way in. It's convoluted AF, but it is a way in. Oh, there's another brute down there. Oh, the brute down there has never actually gotten back over here. Ah, hey, brute. Hey, guys. Come on, brute. Can you get over here? You want to aggro on me, but I don't think you can get in. May have lucked out. If I can... Because we've taken down one brute already for sure. There's definitely another one here that we can get. The only thing that has me worried is as soon as I swing, I'm going to be going full war... Yeah. Full war mode with them again. But this is another potentially safe avenue to engage them on. I also could just dump a lava bucket down there, honestly. I'm not completely immune to fire, if I remember right. Yeah, let's see what we can do with that regards. Which means I need to pull back far enough to get to... making sure that I don't get lost in the process. That was getting lost in the process there already. Down, 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 down. Down over to the side. Alright. I can craft a lava bucket based off of what I've got in the inventory. I just have to get to lava. One thing in the nether that I need... I don't have readily available... Okay, that's... Is that one right outside or not? Tell you what, let's plop down bucket time. And just jump in there. We don't need no stinking torches. Whoa, hello, buddy. You are decked out to the nines. Well, I don't have any gold for you, though, unfortunately. Does make me wonder how far out are you guys getting? Are you getting out this direction or not? And I can get down to lava level from here. It'll be a bit of a run between ghasts and skeletons, so maybe... Yeah, this plan's gonna work out great. Could also pick up the Strider, potentially at some point here. Go. Take advantage of the Soul Soil Highway here. Making sure I don't drop into that on the way back. You, sir. I'll happily take more arrows. I think what I'm going to do is just... That's my warning sign that something's there I should probably be looking for. Alright, let's see if we can try a little bit of the old Zestonian battle cry, lava bucket ho. Let's see. Up, up, up. Over to here. Up to there. Up, 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 and up some more. And up to here to the left, and then straight ahead should be... there. Hey, guys. How you doing? There's a good spot. I didn't see if that got the brute. Certainly a lot more fun down that direction, but at least they're killing off the hogs. got? I think that's all of them. Just have to deal with the slow drain on the lava there, but good. Let's just sissy bar that. Okay. Promising again. This even looks almost exactly like the same ledge that we found the first time. Shouldn't have any problems with anything sneaking up on us that way. From behind should be okay. Because everything in here is dead. Let's just play that on the safe side. Nothing should come in behind me, but... Alright. Some gold ingots. Another golden apple. Plain old standard sword. Blech. Not the best of things, but you know what? Gold ingots, sure. Can use that for the golden carrot population, and I'm in the unusual position that I want to keep all the netherrack I've got on me because that's another brick that I might use. I think we can live without the cracked, well, really the stairs. And I can't do anything to indicate that I've been there, but that's okay. So far, this is going a lot better than I was expecting for another fortress. Mind you, I'm sissy barring everything and taking every possible advantage I can, so... Yeah, we don't want to get knocked down there, that's for darn sure. Love to find my way into the central vault. Okay, that's one of the other areas I've sissy barred already. Yeah, this is the area we came out originally. Alright. As far as finding my way into the center of the vault. Lower and to the right. Which is ridiculous, because that's... Yeah, the mini-map is not helping me. All I've got is the mini-map, basically, on the top right. Main screen map's not going to help. Alright. Well. Guess down we go. Because this was the first spot that I went after stuff. Yeah, now this is where I definitely could benefit from having the gravel on me. Alright, so we're not going to get any luck there. Some of their piggy friends are down there, though, so maybe I can... Okay, nothing down here. Lantern, but nothing specific down here. So there's no real... no benefit to going through there. Make sure I'm not going to invite any trouble up by doing this. There you go. Hey guys. Is anyone down here a general of some sort, or perhaps a sort of brute-like fellow? Sounds like it. I know, it's the coward's way, but darn it, I'm a coward. Hi, can you... I was about to say, could you go away, but honestly... I might be able to trade with you. I think you're in a lousy spot for it also. Oh, yeah, I'm a real professional. Let's actually start recording that. No, I need you to come back up here. That's right. You're not quite willing to cooperate, though. I don't know. Back over here. Come on. Come on. Back in your little hole. That's right. Can I tempt you, possibly? Hey, buddy. I don't know. Come on. Come on. Closer. Never work with children or nether moms. Come on, buddy. I am risking my neck here on this one. There you go. Once you in there, so I can seal you in and potentially do some bartering. And preferably not have you. I don't. Go away, you stupid hog. Okay, so I've got you set for that, which means we can... should be able to just drill into there for that, and let's see what she'll give me. Mind you, I have to have an empty inventory for this. That was some quartz. So that was a waste. String. I mean, yeah, okay, sure. Let's toss that furnace overboard. It's more bows and arrows. I can't complain. Alright, nether brick. That's much less I've got to smelt in here. What else can you give me? Something useful, maybe? Frying obsidian. Okay. You can get one of those already from up top of the mountain, but... Fire charge. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess. Don't really have anything I can do with it, but you know what? Sure, why not? Something funny to use. Okay, so you haven't really given me anything special. I can't really go... Inventory's full anyways, and opening a chest around here is kind of has just your health, so... Maybe this is the part where discretion is the better part of valor. And using your brain is the better part of valor. And we just head on back, because now we know how to get down here at least. Come on, why are you not letting me up? course, that's the way out. And I still haven't found the path over there either. No, that's the way down again. There's definitely a path that someone has made through the Nether on that map, and I have yet to find it. And they literally came within arm's throw of the bastion here. Okay, let's try to... There's some logic you can use when you're working with journey map for this sort of thing, and I'm completely ignoring it. So all the maps are divided into different elevation slices. So we go down and we lose the tunnel. That's when we know we're too far down. So this is too far down. The tunnel's not lower than that. We should know that you can expect to see it. It does take it a while to click over. At a certain point. And it's a question of getting more elevation to find out where it really is. Because if I go higher up, because remember I didn't see that tunnel before when I was up at the top. That'll give me about a midpoint. Okay, so right here is about where we lose it. Takes a little while to cut over. There we go. Okay, so about a halfway point between the low end and the high end, which is really sort of about here, I would say. If it's not here, we'll be pretty close to... There we go. Ooh, this is nice. See, that's the one thing I wasn't thinking of was, I didn't think way back when I found that villager that we could have just gotten him through the Nether back over to here. Alright, so let's just assume for now that this is kind of like... more or less, where I'm at. It'd be nice to actually have a way home. That level. And we know my portal's like literally right through the ground here, so... just throw something up there, and we should just be able to pop right on top. I mean, it's literally right there, like probably 4 blocks away. I have to remember that we've got lava out in one direction. Okay, maybe not 3 blocks away. It's at an elevation that I can get to, right? I know I'm not crazy. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so portal. Stare down. Get out of there, we just have to come up with a... Oh, right, because that's the stairwell down I originally did. Right, okay. That was me heading out down to find the bastion in the first place. So this will work, because we get down to here. We're in, and then what I'll do is I will mark this out. Some crying obsidian, so I can just use that up, and that is the way into the bastion. Because like whoever, I don't want to go through and do everything in the bastion either, because that does kind of suck. We'll leave that for some other folks to go through too. 2 chests is enough for me. My inventory is full. So that's the bastion, and then yeah, literally my portal. It's right up here. Stone's throw of another fortress. Stone's throw of a whatchamacallit. Just close that off so I don't get confused. Stone's throw of a bastion, nether fortress, the whole 9 yards. Talk about location, location, location. You got it all here. 5 minutes from downtown. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with him. He can stay. Worried about it potentially being a hoglin. Alright, I would rather have the soul sand out of that if you don't mind. I can come back and do a slightly better path for sure there. Oh, okay, so we've got a path out. We're able to get to and from the nether, well, everywhere we need to go basically at this point, aside from a working nether fortress. But again, that was one... It looked like there might have been another one on the map somewhere off on this edge. That path, I know what that path is actually. That's Nuna and Sai's path and Ellie's path. The return from their nether, or return from the desert that they're in. So that tells me the main portal. I can't be that far from it. Let's go down and find out where we're going here. Since I haven't been by spawn in a little bit and Top's been doing some work in there, we'll go take a look. Actually, let's make this even clearer. There you go. If you don't realize that that's going to be a bastion back there, you may need your eyes checked. I got 6 potatoes. I can make it over there with the food I've got. Like, if this is basically the spawn hub effectively right now, then yeah, this is absolutely perfect. Yep, spawn. And Elfie's right next door. Okay, great. I've got a way to get to and from spawn now without having to go on the rowboat. Time to ditch the boat. Alright, I know Top was doing a fair bit out here. Have you been down the public mine shaft? No, I haven't, but... Ooh. Okay, I like the center there. I know this is the way down to the farms. He was working on that, and he had a raid pop up. Well, not a raid, but a illager patrol pop up. But where is... So I didn't bring my emeralds with me, but that's okay. I can get back and forth pretty darn easily. There we go. There's the trading hub. So we got the cocoa bean farm. We've got a melon farm now. We've got all the different stuff we need here that we can pick up, which is good. We got the enchanting stuff up top that I dropped off the books for. Now, unfortunately, none of you were actually doing anything for me, but yeah, 16 emerald mending villager. I don't have anything I can give you guys except maybe... Let me see. Since I don't have... Since the fortress is a complete bust, I think I've got a potion brewing stand I can bring over. And we could throw that down and get some potions potentially going, because I see at least one villager in there doesn't have an occupation right now. So that would probably help. Actually, we need more villagers anyways, because there's no... Oh, shoot. I kind of wish Top was still around, because I could let him know he could have come over to my place to grab the stuff I picked up out of the archaeology site. Because I've got the blast furnace and the grindstone. And we could potentially get some tool trading up and going. Before Mojang nerfs that, shall we say. And the community mine shaft, I think, was up around... Oh, presumably there's still a path to it. Yep, there we go. Community mine shaft. Down that way. I'm not too worried about it. I've got plenty of access to materials at this point so far. The only downside is the diamonds. The diamonds are eluding me. It's gonna be tricky to get them. That is nice. I mean, the double, actually, 25 levels, and I do have string on me. I don't have any lapis on me, but that's not a big deal. I'm thinking about going down and actually just grabbing the levels that I can. And I only live once. Alright, so what have you done down here? You have the zombie XP farm over there, which actually the smite sword will be pretty good on. And then I'm gonna hope that that's not the spider spawning farm, because that would be extremely dangerous if it is. So maybe we'll just go down to the zombie XP farm. Ooh. Caves down here are almost as good as what I've got over in the other world. Or not in the other world. The over at my place. Convenient farm there. Picking up some amethyst on your way in and out. For every 10 zombies, get a piece of amethyst. Now, where is your XP spot? Oh, not your XP spot. Your is this considered the proper spot here to? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Figure if I can get enough levels, I could at least bring the diamonds that I've got left over. I've got 4 of them. I could make a sword and get a decent, try to get a decent sword enchant. And then throw a mending on it, because I've got enough books for 2 mending books. Well, enough books for 1, enough emeralds for 2. No, Babby, you don't get out. Trying to think of what else I could do. We've got 1 bit of ancient debris, but it's kind of useless without both the netherite upgrade and without 3 other pieces to go with it. So I could try to bump up plans to try to get down to ancient debris level. Kind of thinking, though, sticking with the nether tunnel idea. I definitely have to find out if anyone's planning on doing another hub and doing tunnels, because what I've got could kind of work. It's not exactly big. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Actually, I know where it is. It's over. I put it in Discord, actually. Yeah, you guys are fine. You can stack up until you're 24 deep. It's not going to kill you. Let's see. It was... Yeah, let's see. I'll put that full screen and kick you over to a... Of course that view is broken too. Thanks. Bit to screen. There you go. I'm leaning towards either the left or the right side of that for a wall design. Probably the right side, because it's a little less monolithic, shall we say. But there's a stripe of crimson wood down the center and cherry on the side. Everything we've got, we pretty much are all set with, so... Would you mind, zombies? I'm trying to stream. So incredibly impatient. Kill me, kill me, kill me. Alright, we'll get on with it. should really be doing that so I get both. Might as well heal up the sword a little bit. So yeah, I'm thinking of that. The other thing I could do is also, it's a little bit derivative of the last big zombie craft nether tunnel project I worked on. When I did I think it was the 300, it was either 200 or 300 row. Which, geez, that would have been like 8 years ago probably now. And I've sworn to never repeat that effort ever again, because that was back when it was... We had Netherwart, and they had just introduced the, Netherwart block. But of course, the only way you could actively get it back then, because this was before the Crimson Forest and everything, was you actually had to farm up the Netherwart and combine it manually. And that took the mother of all Netherwart farms, manually farmed with a fortune pick, just to get everything for that one tunnel. And it wasn't even a complete tunnel. I think it was a 300. It was 300 or 4, maybe it was 400, but it was a 300 path. There's an ancient, here, let me turn down something here, and let me see if I can find it. I should still have the video for it out somewhere. No, I don't have it on, it's on my, actually, wait a minute, I might. Don't do that. Leave the text on the screen while I try to hunt this file down. The upside of my network storage is I do get to keep a fair bit of completed stuff on hand. And Zombiecraft is one of them. So if I can turn down the game a little bit more there. Let me pop you back over to see that, and I think that was... Oh god, yeah, red 300 left. This wasn't the part that had the, that was just part of it initially. That was the initial design, which then got scrapped later on. Definitely not doing that floor design out of wood ever again unless we've got fire tick on, because that was waiting to kill us in a heartbeat. There it is. That's what I was working on right there. Oh, come on. Bingo. So it was the same general structure as the tunnel that was up at the start of the video, but this was all Netherwart blocks through the whole ceiling. And not only that, but then I also said, hey, let me do redstone lamps too. Ugh. Between getting all the redstone and all the Netherwart for that, I was so sick of that tunnel by the end. But it looked pretty cool, especially that was, you know, with it being a relatively new block and everything. But now we've got quite a few more options. Also, I probably would not do the same thing with the diorite on the edges. That, yeah, that's a design decision I don't think that I would be repeating again. Also, not building a tunnel on that scale ever again either in survival. Not that narrow, because that was a tough one to fly down at times. Oh, and we were also having tons of trouble trying to figure out where 300 actually was, because coordinates and journey map back then didn't really agree with each other. I don't think I have any... This one was annoying more because then I said, okay, let me build out of something interesting. Oh, yeah, packed ice. Why do I always go for the hard things to build with? But that was... And then, okay, let's switch up the lighting and do something unique, and digging everything out by hand instead of using dynamites, which would have made things a lot easier for doing that. I don't think... Oh, hang on, let me... Have to deal with the overflow. Pick's almost up. There we go. Pick's done. Maybe put mending on the shield next, honestly. Let's go back to... Oh, where did I run that thing? I had a huge time lapse of that being built. Hotel Monsignor was the build challenge for... it's escaping me right now, the name of the game. Darn it. That was trying to do the build challenge for... Come on. Come on, Nasbox, you can do it. Oh, actually, that was early tunnel creation then there. That was community tunnel stuff. Hotel Mon... Oh, God, that was... Yeah, equals Cathedral. Jeez. That thing was massive. Where is the Monsignor? This is Zombie Craft. God, when was that? This was Zombie Craft back in 2016. 7 years ago. This was the season I did Hill Valley. I started off with Hill Valley, and then I said, let's make this a movie set. So the whole season was themed around me building various sets and locations and whatnot. There's also another thing I do not want to do again. Well, actually, I would consider it again. Hill Valley, the courthouse is built out of bricks. Keeping in mind, that was back when clay generation was not very plentiful in Minecraft. So yeah, there... Ooh, someone had thorns on there. That was back when you had to really scrounge around for clay, and I probably went a little too crazy on going after it. Oh, actually, no, I forgot. That's the other season I did something even more painful. This is back when I had the camera count. Yeah. Dear Lord. Don't ever try to build anything out of colored glass like that ever again. No. Painful. I think that's probably the closest I will ever get to having somehow perfected an organic curve and building with it in Minecraft. And the problem is when you looked at that in the preview, in the map viewer, it was almost impossible to tell what you're placing down. When you're up there, up close in that, you can't tell what you're placing down and what's already there, so... It's actually a great thing to do while you're waiting around for the XP farm to reload on zombies. That, yeah. That whole thing was a nightmare to build. Like, here it is, it's half complete, and I'm already struggling. You try to go up with the various color layers, but the problem is they all have to be laid within a certain... You have to get down your helper blocks, and you've got dirt blocks that are going in, and you can barely see, especially at night, what you're putting down in some places. That was really... It was interesting. I'm glad I tried it, but that was hard to perfect. Yeah, because that was when I was still doing the what news stuff. That's half... No, actually, that's a quarter of the way done. Don't ever do it this way, by the way. If you're going to build it, literally stick with the one color going up around the side. I wish I had done that. Because then getting up and down off this thing was a problem. But I wanted to establish, I knew, okay, this block goes here. So this block will be here on, you know, on this edge. This will be a green block here. So I know if I go 5, 6, 7 blocks up from that edge, that will be a green block on the other side. No, it doesn't. So that was, yeah. That was the progress report on left 300, because that was jumping around. Don't remember this one. Maybe this is... Oh, right. This is when I was trying to get used to replay mod and seeing what I could kind of do with that. That was when I was still building out... Yeah, the 2 movie sets here weren't done. That eventually wound up being a bar room slash bank set. That wound up being a desert temple set. That's supposed to be a Wild West set there. The courthouse, the Hill Valley Courthouse is back there. And there's the whole town square and everything that was built up around it. Actually, oh god, that was when I was trying to do single long shots. And I mean, for the courthouse, it was just a facade too, so. Oh yeah, that was the year that it was like, there are just millions of, because all the time I was spending out there, I was just accumulating zombie skeleton horses. Constantly. That was my build wall down there. All the projects I had slated to work on. It took that much of a wall. That's supposed to be a Greek Parthenon up there. I've got the MST3K logo over here. There's a build tribute to Carrie Fisher just beyond that. So that was a thing. And then back behind here, I did another, like, I skinned everything here for terrain in red sand. I had a city set back here because there's a zombie spawner that was back under there. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. I can just come in and set up a sort of like a zombie invasion movie actually going on right in front of you. So you would just, you'd have an AFK spot and you'd build up a whole ton of zombies, and the spawner was like maybe 5 blocks below the surface. And, you know, you just open the door, they would just come stumbling out everywhere. At 30 levels, let's keep going. Let's get a little more. I'm not exactly hogging the farm at this point for anyone else on the server. And everything was all facades. It was all false fronts, except for a couple places where I had like display windows. I gotta say, that's actually my first and probably only time I'm ever gonna do pixel art. And that was not by me doing that all by my eye. That was all from feeding an image to a program and having it tell me what I need to put in place and where. And boy, did that take a while to build out. And keep in mind, that was before. This predates Deep Slate. This predates Tough. So a good chunk of that was just kind of oddball stuff. There wasn't much selection to do Dark Gradients back then. Oh, yeah, and that's the rail line from the Wild West set. That's the back of the Hill Valley Courthouse. My base was quasi under there. And then if I remember right, the whole reason I got in the Hill Valley kick was because at one point, I think I started off the season. This wasn't the first season I did kicking over from Spamcraft. This is my second season in Zombiecraft. The previous season was the one I came over in a really cruddy version of a DeLorean. And by I mean like very small block, small grid, small size. Wasn't exactly great. What else did I hear? That was going to be the evil scientist laboratory with his death laser up there. Which that one I got really aimless on building that one. And it just really, I don't know. I liked what I was doing. It kind of worked, but at the same time I didn't. Now it's probably one I'd consider tearing down and redoing today. One more. We got anything good out of drops yet? Some protection, tons of that. Go away. Accumulate. Sound like I'm gonna be a Dalek there. Accumulate! What else? That was the Wild West town. Again, nothing really special there. We didn't have, did we have Dark Oak at that point? Yeah, we did, because I can see it in the background there. We had probably had just gotten Dark Oak. That pig, by the way, this pig right here was stuck. He would never move from that block. Anytime I had that world up, even when it was offline, you know, when we got the season download, he is stuck there. He will not move. Just can't pathfind out of there. He won't go over the fences, which makes sense, but he won't even go back and forth on the half slabs, which is just beyond bizarre. Okay, so this doesn't have... Yeah, that's just basically all Hill Valley. my really crappy attempt at hiding the lighting to keep the street from being spawned. This would benefit so much from having the updated lighting rules in place that we have now. Let's see if I can find a picture or photo, not a picture, a video of that thing being finished. The tunnel. What's the patron server? It might be the patron server. Patron Portal Season 2. That should be... Oh god, yeah, and this was one of the times when my motherboard was crapping out. The video as a result did I was able to recover, but it was so corrupted in places. I just could not depend on it being viewable. So that was what's news. There we go. Now we're in the Nether tunnel. So this is outside in the main corridor. That wasn't my doing. That was all community driven, but this is what it eventually... Not in here. Farrell, go the other way. To your left. No, why are you going... No. Why are you going down that way? Nobody even lived down that way. Here. Tell me I went down that tunnel. Please tell me I went down that tunnel. You can even time this out by the skin that Cleo's wearing at this point. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, yeah, that was the one where I... Did I eventually... Yeah, I eventually went... Oh, that's the other thing. Dark prismarine blocks. You're not going to catch me doing that anytime soon. Well, also, I should probably... I'm thinking of it. Since I'm not in the Nether anymore. I need to get in the habit of that. The last time I was working with Replay Mod, you didn't have the ability to stop recording. So there are cases out there. I have backup folders of just gigabyte long Replay Mod sessions that are still out there to this day. I could go back and actually replay some of the stuff I was doing in the world then. Yeah, if you don't want to go mad, don't ever build like this. Because I was like, oh, it's a nice spot for the elytra flights to go down the middle. And yeah, it just... Keep in mind, this is the ring road's 300, so this is a tunnel that is 300 blocks long. World coordinates from 0 to 300. Yeah, and just on one axis, and all of that dark prismarine. And then that's not my tunnel down there. I think that was... It might have been Joy Joy Jenny's? I don't remember, but this all backed up on the... Yeah, there we go. The... Eep, eep, eep. Yeah, good flying there, Farrell. There we go. That was the Hotel Monsignor. Can't think of the name of it. Yeah, Cold Brew, I know. Mob Grinder content. Well, I can keep it in the background while I'm doing my nostalgia run. I can't think of the name of the game all of a sudden. It's not... Because it's not Fallout. It's the one with the Big Daddies and the Plasmids. Oh my god, I cannot believe I am completely banking on this. Because that very much is a game that Cleo loves. Oh, where is it? Because it was, you know, post-dystopian kind of environment and whatnot. BioShock, there we go. Thank you, Mad Lavitz. I was going insane there trying to remember it. And this is how crazy it got when I was doing the this tunnel. Is I gave up on the nether wart. I said, that's it, we're done with the nether wart blocks. I need to vary up the design a little bit, and things very quickly got away from the, oh, it's elytra friendly. And then I said, because I've got so much netherrack that I've been mining out of this place, let's make everything out of nether bricks. Which is decidedly not what you want to do. There's definitely an element of cringe going on here that you guys aren't seeing because I've got the face palm thing going on almost. There's nostalgia trip and then there's yeah. And then the key thing of all of this is you'll note everything is half slabbed in here. Nothing can spawn at the level of where all this is going on, and that introduces its own headache of what you can and can't get away with. Yeah, this is perfectly fine. We can fly through with the lights down here. Not a problem. It'll be fine. And then that went all the way. That was the end up there in the corner. And I don't think anyone even... I can't remember if anyone did the next tunnel over or not, or if I just... Did I grab something random for it? No, because that to the left was different. At some point, we started having some things branching off. And yeah, that's definitely not mine. That was someone was doing the layered glass effect over there. It was very effective from what I remembered. Yeah, don't... There's no way you're going to go with the lighter through that. There's a good amount of sand that went into that, too. And then that was my base off to the left. Again, oh, hey, what can I do to keep mobs from spawning on stuff? I know, let's put some black concrete powder in there. That'll look real good. Yeah, that was the Rapture City, and that was mini builds, basically. That was... oh yeah, I had portals to everywhere on the base. So you could kind of enter at one spot and out the other. Hang on. Zombie check. Yeah, they're dying off, so... Come here. I'm giving the hopper a chance to unload. That's what I'm doing. I'm helping the farm's efficiency overall by letting it consume mass quantities of things all at once. It's actually moving over at a pretty good tick right there. That was because you go through... Oh, yeah, right. That was my first attempt at ever doing text in Minecraft through builds. Right, yeah, because that was... This was the castle of... can't remember if I did it as Fu Manchu or if I did it as something else. The doctor is out, the evil is in or something. This was all kind of cringe. I so needed to come through and do more detail in here. I mean, even considering how early this is in when I was building... Well, actually, it's probably mid-building at this point. There's so much more I could have done in here. It would have looked much more impressive. I could have thrown a bit more variation in the blocks and just some furniture and whatnot. AKA, this is the part where I'm cringing that I actually was proud to show this off to Cleo. This was the death ray that I finished up. Such as it is, not that it actually did anything. But hey, if you've got to have a giant death ray. And then there, off to the side, you can see the whole... Yeah, I'm starting to remember everything I had to do here. All of the snow there is hand-placed. This was not a biome that it naturally snowed in. And that was all before you had layered snow, too, if I remember right. So there's just things here randomly to try to give it a little bit of variation, and anywhere you could fit snow in. So all the snow had to be hand-placed. All the sand had to be hand-placed back there. That's studio buildings that were down there. I had a farm for... If the season had gone on longer, if I'd gotten one done, I probably would have been turning the section in front of the Zombieland Studios into an alien land. That does actually link up to an overworld path too. There's a whole path from spawn out to that studio. What was it going on about with that? I don't remember. I was happy about the roof because the roof was a bit of a struggle, if I remember right. That was into... The villagers had their own... Oh, that's right. I had a whole plot line through here. There was a whole plot line with the studio building over here. Which the whole idea was that there's a murder on the studio. So there's a little kind of mini story, and that's why you see blood around in the police lineup. I forget how I'd worked that into lore, but the whole idea was you'd go in and you had to try to, you had to solve the murder, basically. So you're trying to find the murder weapon and figure out who it was. It's like a really simple story thing. This was the Desert Temple set, complete with all the clues of, hey, someone has been killed here. I think this was after, yeah. Oopsies. This is the autopsy report and everything that I had for it, and there was a. That's right. Now I'm remembering. The salmon was a thing that season, worshipping the salmon and Lucky and whatnot. So that's why the idol in the temple is a giant salmon. Oh man, I forgot about that. Hold on, zombie check. It's like a hydration check, but for zombies. Have you killed your friends today? There you go. It's actually working well doing that in bulk. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, Farrell, get over it. You had stuff out there. Oh yeah, then I had a... Yeah, there are clues that were spread all throughout the studio. So this was an area that's, if I remember right, it had a polar bear tucked back in. And you're getting, you know, lit all around and whatnot. This is the bank set that there was. With little in-jokes. Box 164, laundered profits from Hermiton Herald. That tells you, that puts this in continuity with the Hermitcraft timeline. Box 82, 820, Space Mutinies continuity, which is an MST3K reference. There's another box over here for one of the mods back then. Vold. That was his sanity deposit. Giant Spider Invasion's Dignity is another MST3K reference. And yeah, I'm absolutely all for half slabbing the Nether, just because, I mean, especially if you're going nowadays with the when you're having to deal with the fun of Assault Delta and all of those bleeping murder hobo magma cubes. They are a pain. Also, yeah, never doing this again. Don't design a set building for something. Oh yeah, that was a shoot, I missed the movie name there. What did I call that? Soundstage 1, A Fistful of Sand Dollars. That was a lesson in don't just build a building, make it fit the space that you have, and then try to fit something inside of it. It's interesting because, I mean, it is realistic to how movie theater works, but yeah, that's definitely a challenge. So I'm looking at that giant chasm that I've got behind my base, and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna have that problem here. This is all nice and wide open. Oh, right, that's right. I forgot I got stuff on the back slot there. Next, back to the video. Let's see, that was the Wild West set. There wasn't really anything useful there. Just little... There are little things here and there. I'd picked a couple people on the server and gave them towns. There's a quasi Badlands back behind everything. What else did we have? Oh yeah, Jojo Jenny's not so livestock because it was mostly skeleton horses. Don't remember if I gave them all names or not. I think I did. Steam Trap Saloon, that was named after Steam Trap. See, the pig's still there. He's still there. He's not moving anywhere. He will You can see the video corruption too, where it just randomly rewinds and everything. That's how bad the video got. He never goes anywhere out of that spot. He's there to this day. There we go. Mesa set for Mississippi Smith and what was the name of that one? Mississippi Smith and the Unwashed Hand. So the idea was the Desert Temple set would have been, you know, behind continuity-wise, you'd walk into these doors and you'd walk into the Desert Temple set. Unfortunately, the effect of it's largely ruined by the fact that you had to torch spam everything, and I never got around to finding out a good way to hide that. Because, you know, it's red sand. What can you put on top of red sand to hide it that easily? It's tricky. Though easier nowadays, I'm kind of thinking I could... The advantage you've got now is the light. There's a little less lighting glitch in the engine, in the lighting engine, and also mangrove wood might work. Orange wool, not so much. It's a little too saturated for hiding it. This was as far as I got in the city. Oh yeah, this is back when we had sand dupers. That's how I filled up the red sand. Converted everything over to red sand with sand duping back then, or the sand switcher. So you could put regular sand in that redstone contraption. It would drop into a drop underneath it as red sand. Oh, this poor wee motherboard. Yeah, it's still the same motherboard I've got today, if I remember. Actually, it has to be the same motherboard. That was me showing it off. I can change the color of the sand. Woo! It's totally not cheaty. No, not at all. Why do you ask? Ah, good times. Let's see. I never finished up all the facade roofs. Ugh. I had so much of this that I never got finished. That was the villager building, if I remember right. Actually, no, that was, oh god, yeah. This is another one of those cringe moments. This was supposed to be a lighthouse that the villagers were going to be in. Because this little hut down here was where the, I think that was another zombie spawn point, or dungeon. I think I was pulling up the zombie villagers out of there and curing them that way to get them instead of bothering to breed them. I don't remember. That was the What News green. That was a green screen I used. Oh, actually, it's convenient. We're going to go right in and see it. So I'd made a green screen room to be able to do filming. So that was about as close as you could get to uniform lighting anywhere in Minecraft at that point. That was a pain to get set back then. We had the Athens set. We had the video corruption. We had the rain getting cleaned up. Oh, that, I have to build him on the server, actually. Speaking of zombie spawners, it's something of a ritual for me. From way back in my first season of Spumcraft. And that should kind of give you a bit of understanding of where my history with fandom and Hermitcraft comes from. This is back when Spum was still on the server. And I had a little baby zombie kind of built as a little prank, and ever since then, I've tried to incorporate them. I didn't quite manage to pull it off with the symmetry builds, because at that point I kind of had given up on it. But that is why you see a little baby zombie wearing bling and holding up a motion picture camera, because he's the director. Akachan the director. He made it into 3... I think I got him in the next season of Zombiecraft somewhere. Oh, the Oracle of Wi-Fi Divine Internet. Yeah, that'd be the name of that set. I had fun with the set names on that one. And the builds, too, because I purposely did... The Athens set was me trying to get comfortable with building on diagonals. because that is a bit tricky. Oh god, yeah. And then there's the... That was supposed to be an office building. Never got done. That was a tanker truck accident that I was using as a means to try to keep zombies from escaping the city without making it obvious that it was surrounded by walls. There's a store back there. That was supposed to be a hotel that never got finished. I don't know what I was thinking when I put the giant zombie out there, aside from, well, it's really a giant zombie. So maybe the giant zombie... Yeah, that's what the lore was. The giant zombie was supposed to be spawning little zombies. AKA regular zombies. Speaking of which. 1 second. Zombie break. I had fun with that. Oh, hey, we got chicken in here now. Correction, we had a chicken in there. You drop any feathers? No. Okay. Good news. I'm feeding the farm as far as villager trading goes for that. I'm gonna watch out on that. I'm gonna have to... 36 levels is pretty good. Let me keep going for a little bit longer here. What did I have with... I forget what that building was supposed to be. Like an apartment store or something. There's my poor, laughable attempt at a tank blocking the intersection. Like a tank with multiple rocket launchers on top of it. I mean, nowadays we would just do that with the dispenser, but you know, I said, let me do it with... This was also... If I remember right, this slightly predates armor stands. Because the thing about armor stands on Hermitcraft is we actually had them on... actually, was that the... Oh, yeah, that's right. I had also did a reference to Wasted Space over there. Wasted Apparel. The armor stands were on ZombieCraft for, I think, about 2 years before they actually managed to... Before Cleo finally managed to convince everyone on Hermitcraft that they belonged in the game. So a lot of the stuff that that you've seen out there, it's a lot of the everyone's favorite phrase. I'm stealing that. It's because there's been a lot of cool stuff that people have been able to make with that. I really should actually I'll hop on to that server at some point. I haven't been on in a long time. Yeah, that was the tanker truck that had blown up supposedly. I'm looking at it right now, and I can tell you right now, it needs banners at some point. It needs, like, signs along the way. Some sort of decorative side to it, instead of just a featureless wall. You look at that, and you look at, like, down here. Okay, you've got a tunnel underneath the tracks. Well, the tunnel should really kind of extend back further. Let's see. What else did we have? I think that was pretty much it that season. Oh, yeah, there's the Carrie Fisher tribute with a hair bun in the front. The first season of Spumcraft, I actually did a Leonard Nimoy tribute. Lots and lots of wool, considering that was 1 point... I want to say 1.89? We didn't have quite as much back then as we do now. Oh, hang on, we'll get some less sherry can throw in. Okay, I think that's 37 levels is enough for now. And also let me cut back over to seeing things without the border. Alright. Nostalgia trip over. Also the fact I'm probably going to get mobbed out the wazoo when I step outside. So it looks like it's dark out. Or not. Okay, perfect. Also, I need to... Yeah. Because that's home there. That's as far as I've gone down into that area underground. It's interesting. It kind of looks like there's almost a ravine there naturally. Now that I'm kind of looking at that. So yeah, that makes sense that the nether portal's pretty close. I do need to go... Sure. Night. We're fine. let's head home. And also let's get game volume back up again. The fun thing about... not to Elfie's place. Let's let a couple of people get set up before I start doing world tours. Okay, so we've got... I'm 70 blocks from spawn. Ooh. Actually, let me do... No, I'll grab bookmarks later. I don't need to do that on camera. I've never actually bookmarked spawn, so... That's not too bad then. So we've got a bastion back behind here, which still has room in it. And we've got the vending villager all the way down there, and I'm hooked in here. I will tell you this right now, if this were Zombiecraft, I would probably be... my portal would be evicted. Because there's absolutely no possible way that you can combine the... oh, great. We're right into the portal. Alright, we'll be dealing out on the other side. I would basically be within... I'm easily within 100 blocks of spawn, if not 200. And that would almost be guaranteed to be within the nether hub size for what they were building over there back then. Yeah. Been there, done that, seen that. I'll get the bones later. Alright. Ironically, some of the stuff that I've picked up is actually stuff I need to build the hub, the tunnel design that I have in mind. Okay, what do we get? Do I have any room anywhere? Running out of room. Storage room is a problem officially now. I have the rest of my netherrack. I mean, honestly, I could also just put it outside. Stick it in the building supplies area. Yeah, I could take the smithing table, the grindstone, and... I don't remember if we had a Fletcher table down there or not. I don't know if we really want a leather worker. That could also go down there. I could bring down my blast furnace as well. Just so we have something useful there, so... yeah, let me do that off camera. I do have 2 bows that I can work with. Plenty of... as far as lapis, I'm in good shape. It's just that I am so short on diamonds. But now that I've got the mending book, I can keep that in good shape. So let's grab... I'm only going to grab 1 mending book for now. Especially because I only have 1 book. Mob drops. I gotta get used to the fact I can actually edit signs now. I'm not used to that. I can only say it's about flipping time that we got that, but... alright, you know what? Just inventory clear. Out, out, out. Out you go. Hang on to you. Hang on to my sticks. Get rid of the soul sand. Get rid of everything else. I've got arrows now, so let's go ahead and keep them. And that's right, I do have coal for torches. There we go. Daytime, that's fine. Can't wait to finish up the potatoes and be on the golden carrot diet. Let's run to spawn and get that mending book and enchant. Enchant. What do I need for enchantment? Lapis. Lots of levels I've got. Enchant the lapis I do not. Come forth, valuable lapis. I have need of you. And let's hope I don't get Bane of Arthropods. It would be tempting to actually actually, no. Bane of Arthropods would still be useful, because if anything, I'd donate that sword to the cave spawner, the cave spider spawner. That would absolutely be helpful there. It's probably the only place where it would be. I cannot believe I am this close to spawn. Especially on the nether path. When I did... it was my first season on the Zuma Void server. That was... I think that was 2 hours that I went wandering around trying to find a place to figure out that just kind of appealed to me. And what did I do? I found a box canyon and said, hey, that'd look good if I could make it look like that box canyon wasn't there. And built terrain all over the top of it. And then proceeded to not understand why I couldn't figure out how to fit a city in there. In fact, actually, this is almost... I may have cursed myself here, deciding to put the SCP Foundation buildings under a mountain. I've tried this before. It didn't work out quite so well. Round 2, I guess you could call this. Alright, vending book traded. Actually, do you have anything else that I can... I forgot to bring the other stuff with me. Darn it. I mean, it's kind of silly. Not real any point unless we got... I'll leave a note for TG in chat and just let him know that I've got the stuff he can grab from my place. There's no real point in keeping it at my place. I'm close enough to spawn. I can just come over here and use it anyways. Alright, let's get up to... Alright, we want a full level 30. What can you give me? Unbreaking 3 and a stab in the dark. Sharp 2 or... Well, at least I've got that at a low level. What's the worst it could do, right? Really? 37 levels, and that's the best it can do. I mean, that's great. I've got room for enchantment on it. I could still throw mending on it. Could be worse. 20 spaces. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be streaming. I'm kind of looking at probably about maybe another hour at most, since I have to worry about... since I have to go back to work tomorrow after the weekend from hell at work. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'll be going, unfortunately. I'm feeling the fatigue starting to set in after today, after this whole weekend. And I want to make sure I can actually still get some sleep, but at the same time, this is also therapeutic to be able to just relax and, you know, just chill. Which is ironic, because what do I do when I chill? I go raid and I go into another fortress, and then I go into a bastion. I have a strange sense of relaxation, apparently. Alright, let's run back to spawn. I'll grab the stuff that we need. Run the sword through the... I could do two things. I've got 2 more diamonds left. I could get another sword. Because there's no guarantee that I'm going to get Unbreaking 3 on anything either. So, do another sword, save it up. It could be spare, it could be backup gear if it's not anything ideal. It could be my main gear if it turns out even better. I've got the levels for it. I'm right there. Might as well do it, right? Because I'm not going to do anything else with 2 diamonds. That's pretty plain to see. give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen? Lightning strikes twice? Don't answer that. I know it does. We'll just kind of casually ignore that. All right, so we bring down that, bring down the smithing table. I think there was a Fletcher down there for sure. Bring down that and blast furnace. I just have to take the coal out. So I can always just make another one of those. Also, here, you can have that. And I need a higher saturation food, please. At least until we get ice down in the nether and can start icing our path over. So, another diamond sword. There we go. I could get Bane of Arthropods. I could get, I guess the other fun one would be if I just got knocked back. Actually, also, while I'm in here, let's just... I have way too many hit points up here. We need Mending Villager. We just need Sight 1. Because it is lovely, a lovely view down here. I am not going to tire of this at all this season for sure. This has got so much potential all over it between aquatic containment rooms and just the sheer volume of space that there is to build with. This is easily, I would say this is very easily twice the amount of space that I had when I did the underground city on Zuma Void server that one season. Easily twice. And it doesn't just stop here. It goes way back through, or even past the edge of the mountain. Like, there's the Woodland Mansion over here. I'm standing kind of not quite center of the mountain, but it goes on for quite a ways through. You can see more pools are down here. There is beyond adequate room to survive in here easily. And I'm going to try to avoid doing the Iskal thing where you seal off the cavern. I get why he did it, but I don't know. At some point you have to sit there and say, yeah, we've got to draw a line on how far back we build. But, I mean, I'm more content to just leave that there as the view, because that is stunning down there. Hang on. Okay, no, I thought that... Oh, no, that... Oh, that might be the fortress that people were saying might be near spawn. Okay. See, it looks like there is one out there, because you can kind of... The structure of it looks like it's there. It could still be just netherrack. Just little edge of the islands, but there's lines here... They're a little too straight to be something else. That might very well be Netherrack. Or not Netherrack. Nether Fortress. Of course it's going to be Netherrack. It's in the Nether. If it's not Netherrack, it's Basalt Delta. The evil Basalt Delta. Thank goodness I did not spawn in Basalt Delta for once. Yeah, okay, I'll deal with some flying rats out here, I guess. Shouldn't be too bad. I've only missed one night. Alright, you. Alright, you're all gonna be asleep. Fine, fine, fine. I know you might have to borrow his bed. We've all been borrowing his bed. Let's face it. Oops. Sorry. I'll wash the sheets later. Just because it would help to have these guys up and about. So also, I mean, considering I'm also delivering some extra supplies here, so we'll throw keep this out of range of the villagers so they don't try to use it. There we go. So that way we can kind of pick, since he's kind of managing the community farm and the villager trading here, that way you can pick which of these, which tasks these guys get next. And yeah, he does have a Fletcher, so... Should have brought more emeralds. I could have traded for that. Some extra emeralds. Anyways, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for... Makey with the Enchanty Wanty. And Ixnay on the Spider Tay. This is probably the worst Pig Latin I've ever read in my life. Oh, not again. Well, I can't get an Unbreaking 4. And I brought the grindstone with me, so I can just grind off whatever I get. Oh, you son of a... The game found the one way to give me a worse sword than the first enchant. Okay. All right, like I said, if I got Bane of Arthropods, that's a community sword right there. That one can go get set up for the spider farm. That'll be a community sword for the spider farm that you can use to kill them down there, maybe. Yeah. That's just... No. You can keep that. Community tool right there, ladies and gentlemen. Have at it. Oh, wow. The force is not with me for enchanting tonight. Oh. Oh, I forgot to... I need to go down. I also need... We need stairs over here. It's a little hard to build in the area because the spawn chunk is right here. So it does make it a wee bit challenging, but... Grindstone here. Let's try this one more time. We're at 31 levels. One more go. One more go at giving me something on the sword. Anything but Bane of Arthropods. Anything with multiple enchants would be nice. Come on, you can do this, game. I believe in you. Okay, knockback 2. Not bad. I could upgrade to a smite 2, which is what I've already got. Okay, I take it back. The next worst enchantment would be if this thing comes just with knockback 2. Oh, you've... God dang it. You tempt me, game. You tempt me, and you tempt me, and you tempt me, and then you kick me in the nuts so hard. Okay. Good news. It's a knockback 2 looting 3 sword, which is pretty darn good. Bane of Arthropods 4. Okay. Well, actually, I take it back. This is the community sword. Because this will be really good for the community sword for getting string. That's for darn sure. And spider heads and spider eyes. Yeah, that's the community sword. I will give up a knockback 2 sword for that. We'll take back the other cursed sword. The accursed blade. And I need to visit the farm again for a brief while. Sorry. I'd kind of hoped to not have to go back down there, but, I mean, come on. That's some really rotten enchanting luck there. I mean, good luck, but bad luck. Good for anyone who wants to use the spider farm, bad for everything else. Where was it? It was down here and over here. For the zombie farm. The zombies. Help me, zombies. You're my only hope. Hi. It's been a weekend. Oh yeah. Bane of Arthropods. 4. Bane of Arthropods 4. Sort of just Unbreaking 3 on it, nothing else. I mean, I could have gone back and grabbed... I think I've probably got some leather. If not, I've got bookshelves I could break down and get some books that way real quick. And I could just go purely book enchantment. But I kind of like to have a strong base enchantment before I kind of tackle that. You, there we go. Now we got some zombies. Hi. I don't need much, guys. Just get me a little bit of... Actually, we can swap over and take that one little brief little line off the pick there. Okay, so yeah, spawn was practically right on top of a mine shaft. That's actually good luck. I know there's more out... No, there's actually another mine shaft over there, but I know out my way there's mine shafts around, but I haven't found them yet. I'm not really attached to anything from what I'm aware of, so... I think that's the other thing I'm tempted about doing is just getting a ladder straight down to diamond level. The caves are a nice thing, but they're also very difficult and easy to navigate and easy to get lost in. Especially when you have to feature in all those water pools, because to get to some areas of the cave, you have to go down the water pools, but then you don't have any real evidence that you need to go back up that way. Question is, will this sword last long enough? It should. It's probably got what, like, yeah, 53 swipes on it. That should be more than enough, right? I'm not gonna totally whiff on making sword hits here. Come on, like 6 more. Just get me over 30 with a little bit to spare. Ooh, there we go. That's a nice cluster. There we go. Just a little bit to spare. All of the rotten flesh in there. I thought I might have had a brewing stand, but I don't, so... Otherwise, I definitely would have brought that over. That would be handy to have a place to finally trade all that rotten flesh. You'd be maxing that trade out in no time. Alright. One more roll of the dice. How... I was going to say, how bad could it be? I have not learned my lesson yet after this weekend. Every time I have said that, things have gotten steadily worse. I must stop tempting fate. While I am vastly accumulating karma at a positive rate, positive karma at a vastly... Can't even imagine Ivanova saying tonight. That's the sign the time is coming to get some sleep. Sharpness 3. So at least I know it won't have Bane of Arthropods. No Unbreaking, but knockback, sharpness. Not great, but at least I can put mending on it. I don't care if it doesn't have, if it's missing Unbreaking, if I've got mending still at least. Of everything that I've rolled for enchantment tonight, I will happily take that. We'll put it that way. I will take my consolation prize and go home. I may not have won, but I will be departing with a copy of the home game. A weird thought that just popped in my head. I wonder if those home games were actually ever good or not. I mean, it's something that always make fun, that you always kind of poke fun at, and something that's always there. You could leave with a copy of the home game because you didn't win, but you know, we'll give you this this reminder of just how bad you failed. How good were those games really, I wonder? Like, were they just, you know, utter garbage, the cheapest you could mass produce and get away with, and yeah, you could show your friends, hey, I won this on the TV show? Or was it literally just the case of, hey, we've given you something that you could go down to your local toy store and easily buy in like 5 minutes? I mean, that's not exactly a consolation prize, that's just rubbing it in. The good news is there's a hoglin up there, but he's not going to be able to get to me because A, he doesn't like portals, and B, I've got a path I can get in and out pretty darn quick. And I didn't have to build over a lava lake to do it. That whole path that I had to build for 300, the red part of it, that was all over a giant lava lake. Alright, sharp 2. Let's... My brain is kicking in here, and I said I'm not going to do any more enchanting, but... there is a certain logic behind not throwing mending on there right now and seeing if I can throw something on the book instead. Because I do have... I'd kind of saved these up. These are also from the Woodland Mansion raid. If I'm going to go book trading, let's go book trading. Empty out the inventory. Everything I don't need. Everything I really don't need. Let's grab some more lapis, because I'll certainly be blowing through that. 12 books, 3 lapis, not counting for... yeah, I'll just grab all of it. I mean, I might find it, might be able to get a slightly higher efficiency on that. Smite 2 will keep. I don't have any more diamonds to do anything else. I do have... I could get another mending book too, which I guess I might as well do that now. Just take that with me on my way out. And actually some more arrows would be nice too. I mean, yeah, I'm getting some off of my mob killing, but not a heck of a lot. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I'm not gonna... really, this cave... what I've basically found is there is not an angle that this cave does not have some sort of beautiful view out of. Like, I'm not gonna tire of that anytime soon. We come down here where we were dealing with all the mobs that were down there, and even that's pretty darn nice. To the edge of render distance for me right now, down in here. The only thing that I'm kind of wondering how it looks from over here, because this is the shelf I haven't gotten to yet. Nope, that looks nice. I can go all the way back to... back when we were exploring back in this area. I mean, there's just... take a slow pan through this and imagine that I'm going to have foundation buildings tucked around here. And not like... I'm kind of thinking not doing just one building. Like, there's not going to be a monolithic slab here. I'm really thinking containment cells down here. And I'm thinking of it in like a sort of almost lattice-like structure. So you've got these blob of rooms, so to speak, you know, like a room, and it's got effectively kind of connections, maybe almost a little bit like the bedrooms at the start of Portal. I think it was Portal 2 that they showed it in, where, you know, Shell's in bed, and like it's almost like the contemporary hotel in Disney, how it was supposed to be designed to be modular, and you'd pull out rooms and slot new ones in, and then they found out that never quite worked because materials engineering says that materials are going to sag over time. Something like that, where it's like very sort of open air. You don't want, if you're designing a containment facility for anomalies and stuff, you don't want everything right on top of each other. You don't want necessarily everything to be confined. You don't want things to be within distance of each other that could influence each other. For containment, that's a little different. It's a kind of a, I have to balance out the containment side from the containment as in not letting out of the facility, which, I mean, let's be honest, this thing's got a million holes here. There's another one, there's ones up here. There's a whole gash in the side of the mountain here. This thing leaks like a sieve as far as safety goes. I mean, even this is like right on the edge of the mountain in the center keep. We already know that we can get up through the water lake through there. It's not exactly, you know, it's not exactly trivial to get out of there. But at the same time, it would be nice to kind of have something where at least I've got a little bit of containment. So there used to be like almost a big overarching building or structure or walls or something. And then the containment cells are all floating free within them. That's where my mind is at right now as far as how that goes. It's still a work in progress, especially the question of how much of this am I tearing out for resources? Because this is one downside. I'm starting off here with a wide open space, but it's a wide open space I've gotten by not getting any materials out of it. So as far as trying to potentially complement the stuff that's already in here, for blocks, as far as finding other things to put in here, that's gonna get a little tricky from that standpoint. We'll have to see what I can come up with. Let's put it this way, I've had more inspiration for the nether hallway that I want to do than, well, except for the problem that is my nether hallway is, you know what, where's that stupid pig? I see you up there. I don't have a pathway to get up there. All right, you know what? You're fine. You can stay up there. Live and let live. Just don't come down to my portal. Actually, they're almost right outside. Either that or they're just drawing on top of the path I've got there. Yeah. What to make the center structure out of? All of the little containment cells. Because the SCP Foundation lore is kind of all over the place. There's all sorts of wacky little things that they do for containment. And I mean, even like if I go off of 4335, which is actually the legit instance of Minecraft being in the SCP universe, I'd be looking at, if I remember right, that was a whole box of obsidian surrounded by lava, and then another layer, and then water, and that sort of thing. And I forgot these guys are all going to be asleep, but I don't care because I'm just trading. I'm not trading, I'm using the enchantment. No, I was going to trade. You know what? You should be somewhere. Nope. No, I can't rest in there. All right, fine. Sorry, I woke you up. It's almost sunrise anyways. Borrowing your bed. Eats like a 1 diamond fee to use the bed. So for a good night's sleep, please deposit 1 diamond. And if you don't deposit the diamond, you get zombies dumped on your head. That wouldn't work because then you wouldn't be able to sleep because there's monsters nearby. But hi, can we have that other mending book, please? We're gonna get him up to master level trade in no time. You see, if I looked here and I had more emeralds, I could just say to heck with it. I could have just gone straight for a smite 5. It's 41 emeralds. That'll just take about an hour to get through. If I had time to grind it, I would legit do that. It's very tempting. Because being able to go straight to a Smite 5 book, Smite 5 mending, but I won't be able to apply it because it's a sharpness sword. So I'm locked out from even applying that, unfortunately. Darn it. Forgot about that. I am locked into sharp. So I'm looking for a sharpness enchant of 3. I want to get to a sharpness 4 on the sword. Fire aspect for the bow. Didn't think about enchanting the bow. I should really be thinking about that. What can I get on you? And I should have been thinking about that before, because I could have gotten something potentially pretty good. I just can't afford that. Power 2. Well, actually, Power 2 is good. Power 2 on Breaking 2? I'll take that. What else you got for me? Feather Falling 2? That's good for the bootsies. Projectile Sharpness. Sharp 1, because I could combine that with another sharp 1 to get Sharp 2 and eventually other sharps. Smite. That's a no-brainer over Quick Charge for me. Another Sharp 1 Books. That's a Sharp 2. Breaking 1, Protection 2. We do not have Unbreaking on the Diamond Pickaxe. Granted, I can charge it up pretty quickly. Protection 2, I'm not going to be up to protecting armor anytime soon. So we'll pull that out. Get the Unbreaking. It's another Smite 1. Oh, I just grabbed Projectile Protection. Darn it. Let's go grab this Smite. Now you misclicked. Power 2, so I can make that a Power 3 bow. Which is the other spot I should consider putting a Mending Book. I don't really care about efficiency. Or not efficiency, Infinity. I'll happily carry around a ton of arrows, but... okay, we're down to the dregs of our XP levels here. Take what we can get. Sort it all out later. Efficiency. Okay. So now we just need to see what we can pick up for arrows. I'm hoping that Fletcher's got a good trade on those. I should have thought ahead, and I should have brought the flint with me, because I could have traded them for that. I will happily take a full stack of arrows, good sir. Many thanks. I shall tell all my friends. Yes, I'll leave you a like and subscribe. Wait a minute, you have a YouTube channel? Villager Tube? The Emerald Tube channel or something? The Villager had that. Hope it's not the Villager News channel. That could lead to some problems. Alright, let's get the loot home here. It's not great, but it could be a lot worse. I have plenty of time to get good materials. I am not worried about being best of everything right out the gate. It is a worthy successor to the sword. We can pack up the Smite 2 sword, the Smite 2 Iron Sword, put that away for a rainy day. I swear they are like right behind me here. Sheesh. I'm gonna be haunted by that until they finally unload at some point. Or despawn or whatnot. Just be hearing grunts the whole time when I'm trying to build my severely truncated nether tunnel. Shouldn't be too... Let's see, because it came out at... The only problem I might have, I was just thinking about trying to move the nether portal, is I'm spawning at the Y level. And it's pretty much dead on, so I don't know how much flex room I'll have to go lower. It's going to depend on other portals in the area. Because if I go out and look at... Can you give me the overhead view, please? There we go, daytime map. Spawn is down here at... Text I can barely read on the screen. Can I... How tiny is that? I do not understand how everyone's like, oh, I want to game at 4K. This monitor is at 4K resolution right now. I can barely read text on it. And I know I'm not that old. So that's negative 4,700. We are down at 3,800. Okay, so I'm outside of the 800 block limit that you really used to have to worry about. So I should be able to sync the portal a little bit. The question is going to become that lying in I know lying in his group have the portal down here. So that is at negative 3,056. So yeah, I have to be very careful about where I drop the portal. I can't drop it too far. The distance shouldn't be too bad, actually, thinking about it. I think I can work with it. It's just going to be a problem if I get into... we have any more people settle around this area. It may be a bit tricky, because I don't think I can fit a portal down low through here. There's just... that area of the map, I think, is... I could potentially move it closer. I really don't want to. We could move it down to around here-ish. And probably get away with it, because it's butted up inside of that little hollow there. So really... somewhere around... oh, hey, there's some lapis down there. Portal's roughly about above there. But it is just all... I've got this giant underwater cave that I've got to try to figure out my way around. And I think some of that abuts up to... yeah, some of that's going to abut up to here, so I could potentially... I could try to trap a portal underwater. That could be something. Like, come over here and stick the portal, like, right here. And then I just have to find a way to keep the portal from being immediately waterlogged around it, which, admittedly, that's a trick and a half in Minecraft nowadays. Could be problem, but could be interesting. Possibly stupid. So I'm still finding nooks and crannies to this base that are everywhere, like... okay, I've clearly been down there to light up. In fact, yeah, this is where I stopped exploring on this side. This is how much is still left to explore down here. This cave just does not end. You go down there, and you got more. You come down here, and you got even more. No, I didn't see that. Nope, I did not see that cobweb down there, clearly indicating... nope, I did not see anything about the mine shafts. Purge that part of the memory that is responsible for telling me where there's mine shafts. Also, yeah, no, I'm not seeing anything down there either. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, run away. Run away. That's for a later time. I'm not going down there. That does look like it's in the deep slate layer, though. That could be good for diamonds. Maybe, maybe not. And let's face it, we always need more diamonds. Alright, I need storage. Need to put some, store some books around here somewhere. It's not going to be high priority for that, so we'll check it up there. So we've got sharp 1, sharp 1. Let's... I've got enough levels to do this at the time being. Smite 1. Where's my other smite 1? Oh, right. That's right. I misclicked on the smite 1 and completely screwed it up. Feather falling. I know I've got 2 feather fallings. So that'll be a feather falling 3. Efficiency. Projectile, projectile. That's 2. That's 3. 1 and 2. So I can make a power 3 unbreaking 1. The sword could get the unbreaking 1 that we've got there. Sharp 3. Can't do much about that. Efficiency 2, efficiency 2. We could put that on the pickaxe. I'd rather use the levels on fortune, but I'll take what I can get. Okay, so yeah, we throw mending and unbreaking on that, and okay, 4 levels for the sword just to get something a little better off, but for time being, I can live with that. Smite 1 sharpness, feather falling 3. I'm not going to put feather falling 3 on anything just yet, but that is a good book. In fact, let's just keep the lapis up there too. Sharp 2, not bad, but needs to go up further. Smite, eh. Another mending book for something has yet to be decided. Probably projectile protection is okay. Okay, so I've got all of that stuff that needs to go together. So off camera, I need to go down and back over to the XP farm, get some more levels. And that was regular old protection too. If there's one thing I would honestly be tempted to put mending on, believe it or not, it's a piece of iron gear. Because remember, I did luck out with that first enchant. I've got a silk touch axe. And it's not a bad axe. So efficiency 2 and... I could take this efficiency 2 book and put that on the axe instead if I wanted to. I probably don't, but that axe has come in a little bit handy. That one not so much. That I think I'm just going to go ahead and tear down. Oh, that's right. We got 2 grindstones out of that, so I can put that one back down and free up an inventory slot. He says, I can bring down some more flint to trade. I've got sticks, but I don't want to go through my wood supply just yet. Iron and everything else is good. Yeah, I definitely do need to do some inventory cleanup around here since I've been trashing stuff. More XP. But I think, ladies and gentlemen, it is 11:30 at night. I desperately need to call it a day on this one, I think. We got a fair bit done. We figured out that there's another fortress out there that we got to. No problems there. Hang on a sec. Let's get the... I don't want to burn the golden gear just yet. There we go. So we got to the Nether. Well, we got to the Nether previously, but we got to another fortress in the Nether. Struck out because it hasn't generated any of the rooms behind the lava chamber. Bad luck that, but on the upside, we definitely have an option of the server to throw together a wither skeleton farm there. In fact, probably even better than that because a lot of the terrain around those platforms was open. So as far as half slabbing to increase efficiency, that should be doable. And it's within walking distance, effectively. I should go back and bookmark it through my route and then dig a tunnel off the main pathway to get to it. We also have got a bastion that's uncovered that we went through and got 2 chests rated on it. The rest of it could be tricky. It's very hard to tell what's where in that bastion because it's completely buried. It doesn't look like it's open to the outside at all, so that is a tricky one. Then we managed to get down to spawn, dropped off a couple of extra workstations, got ourselves the makings of a good, well, a decent first enchant for a diamond sword. We'll call it that way. Took advantage of the mending villager, raised his levels just a little bit. Maybe I'll do a harvest of the farm and pop down to the other farm as well before I head off for the night. Just so since the community farms are all within the spawn chunk radius, they'll regrow pretty quickly. But maybe we'll take care of that. But anyways, that's all going to be off camera. Thank you guys for watching. Next stream that I have scheduled, provided nothing else blows up at work, provided I somehow manage to get through the maintenance window on Wednesday night and actually get some sleep, which is not looking promising right now. Thursday is a possibility. We'll put it that way. That'll be Space Engineers with Lucian and Lang. It's going to depend on how much sleep I get, because I've lost so much of it at this point. Anyways, if not that, then possibly Friday. I'm going to try to go back to the original... I can't go back to the original plan. I can't tear down everything here because Saturday I've got more upgrade work that I've got to do. Saturday and Sunday, early morning. We'll play it by ears, folks. If you're not a member of the Salt Mine Discord, definitely pop into it. The link is in the description under the video. Well, not the video. The stream here. Hopefully at some point in the near future, I'll manage to get the new computer up and running. Won't really impact Minecraft that much, but yeah, maybe it'll help Space Engineers a little bit. Maybe it'll hurt it a little bit. I don't know. I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.